Hi there, welcome to the YouTube channel. I'm back again, and yet we're here again with another random commander that was randomly selected. And to be fair, this Malik Grim Manipulator wasn't the card that was randomly selected. It was Negan, the Cold-Blooded from the Walking Dead Universes Beyond set. And I basically checked to see if they'd actually inputted the magic versions of all the Walking Dead cards into mtgo. They have. I don't like saying Negan. I just don't, in case I get it wrong and I upset people. So I swapped it. It's Malik, same card, same deck, same ideas. But anyway, Malik, 2 red, white and black for a 4/3 human creature, legendary creature. And when Malik enters the battlefield, you can choose a creature the player controls. Well, you and target opponent each choose a creature they control, and then those choices are revealed, and those creatures get sacrificed. And whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, you create a treasure token. Now, the first time you play Malik, it's possible you only end up with 1 treasure. You might end up with 2 treasures. It's all what happens. You're randomly sacrificing it. But it's the second part. Whenever an opponent sacrifices a creature, you create a treasure token is what I'm concentrating on. Because there's a lot of cards in mtgo in these 3 colours that make your opponent sacrifice things, and that's what you want them to be doing. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully you've come down below and hit the subscribe button that should be bottom right hand corner of your screen. Please do if you haven't. I'm sitting at 314. My target for the end of 2024 is 500 subscribers, so if you haven't subscribed before, please help me out and hit the button. Anyway, the deck, it looks like this. Starting as I always do with the mana base, red, black and white lands all over the place. I'm not holding back on this one, by the way, because it's something I'm only going to play online, so I've gone a little bit OTT. So I have got Arid Messer, Badlands, somewhere a little bit further down there's Marsh Flats, and a little bit more further down somewhere there should be Plateau and Scrubland. So like I say, I'm not holding back on this one. The cost of this deck, if you look at it on the deck link below in the description, is going to be stupid. You can take these cards out, replace them with something else if you're building in real life, unless you're lucky enough to own them, in which case all bets are off and you can enjoy this deck as it is. But for me, I'm playing this purely online, hence why they're here. So sorry about that if you wonder why the cost of this one's so exorbitant. Artifact wise, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Signet, and one of each of the talismans makes the deck today. Don't think we need more than that. We are generating a lot of treasures, hopefully, with Malik. Therefore, that should give us enough to do. So, what are we going to start off with? Well, we'll start off with the 1-drops. And you can do Malik purely on a pure blink deck. I've tried it out. I'm not 100% convinced by it at the moment. I preferred making my opponents sacrifice their creatures instead of having to choose things. It slows the game down, especially on online. I may come back and look at Malik sometime in the future and do it as a pure 3-colour blink deck. But at the moment, we've only got Ephemerate in here. And Ephemerate's in here because we can rebound it, and that's kind of 2 uses of Malik which I can cope with, so that's why we're here. Elixir of Immortality's here because a lot of our stuff will probably get killed off. We'll need to get it back in our library to draw again. 2-drops, it's a red deck. We like treasures, we like Dockside Extortionist. That's never going to change. Jury, Master of the Review, is also here. Whenever we sacrifice a permanent, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Jury, and when it dies, deals damage equal to its power to any target. With the amount of treasures we're going to be sacrificing, this should get big quickly. Kalain, Reclusive Painter, just gives us a treasure when it comes in, and if we spend the treasure mana on the creatures when we cast them, they come in a little bit bigger with a +1/+1 counter. 3-drops, they are all here. Demon's Disciple, Fleshbag Marauder, Gravelighter, Merciless Executioner, Plaguecrafter, all make an appearance in this deck. We are going to make our opponents sacrifice lots of creatures, and we're going to get lots of treasure tokens. Just remember, every time you cast one of these, assuming each opponent's got a creature in play, you're going to repay themselves in their mana value because you're going to get 3 treasures. Fane the Broker, that is back again. One of the regular people who comes and plays with me on the stream, down below if you want to come play on stream with me, by the way, spotted that Fane is a card they hadn't even thought about before, so it's got the creative juices flowing. However, I like playing Fane just for another way of sacrificing creatures or sacrificing artifacts to go and get creatures to win with. We can sacrifice our treasure tokens quite happily to get a little swarm of 2/1 flyers and go from there, so hence why Fane's here today. Shoal? Nope, let's try that again. Soul Shatter is also in for this one. Each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker with the highest mana value among creatures and planeswalkers they control. Yes, if they sacrifice a planeswalker, you don't get a treasure token, but hopefully they'll sack a creature. Most people want to keep their planeswalkers. And Vuna's Hunger is also here. Each opponent sacrifices a creature, and if we have the Blessing, they sacrifice half the creatures they control. That is a lot of treasure tokens that come to you. You should be able to get the Blessing quite easily because of all the treasures you will have coming. Therefore, having Vuna and keeping it till the late game is a really good idea from my point of view in this deck. Ario, Widow of the Realm, is also here. Sacrifice an artifact or creature. You gain X life, where X is the sacrifice permanent's mana value. Not doing much, but see if you can get it flipped. At the beginning of combat on your turn, return up to one target artifact or creature from the graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste, and then you get to exile it. There is a reason this is here. You'll see why shortly. Captain Lannery Storm, treasures, sacrifice gets bigger. Jessica's Will, yeah, of course, if playing a red deck is going to be here. Togo, Goblin Weaponsmith, another thing, just the rock tokens. I like Togo just for a bit of fun, to be honest. Yeah. And I figured, well, it gives a little bit of way of making some use out of our lands, and I had a slot left, so I went with Togo. Oh well. Zorn's here to double up get an extra treasure every time we create one. Denthalal, the ruling steward from the Lord of the Rings set, is also here. If a creature died under your control this turn, you get a 1/1 white soldier token. That's fine. You can sack another creature to each opponent loses a life and you gain a life. So, yep, cope with that. Lagamos, Hand of Hatred. At the beginning of your combat in your turn, you get 2/1 red elemental with haste, and it gets sacrificed at the beginning of the next end step. The chances are it'll die in combat, which will trigger this lovely guy, and yeah, keep things going. Anyway, Mahidi, Emporium Master. Get a treasure for each creature that died this turn. Well, there'll be at least one probably every turn. Mayhem Devil. I'm sacrificing a lot of things. I'm sacrificing a lot of treasures. People are sacrificing creatures. Mayhem Devil deals 1 damage to any target. Yep, perfect sense in this deck. Very annoying, very good. Obnixilus, the adversary. His Planeswalker form before he lost his spark in the March of the Machines, the Aftermath. Yeah, let's sacrifice a creature. Have a copy of him, have 2 in play, and let's go for it. Should be fun. Crackling Doom deals 2 damage to each opponent, and then each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power. That's very nice, and it's come down from rare to uncommon now, so yep, even better if you're trying to do this on a budget. Jan Jensen, Chaos Crafter. Haste, sacrifice an artifact creature, create 2 treasure tokens, sacrifice a non-creature artifact, create 2 1/1 construct artifact tokens. Yeah, another way of getting rid of your treasures and get some creatures if you need them. Of course, you probably just saw it. Academy Manufacturer is also here because I needed some food and some clues to draw some cards. And I forgot about Commander's Sphere. I forgot to stand the bottom here, so another bit of ramp. Over to 4-drop land. Chroma's Will. Got to win the game somehow. Chroma's Will is the most efficient way of doing it if you're playing white. Anointed Procession doubles up on all those lovely treasure tokens and other types of tokens you may be getting, like the Inklings. Makes perfect sense to have it here. Smothering Tithe. Let's get small treasures, upset our opponents. Teleportation Circle's another nod to the Blink deck. You'll be targeting Malik with it all the time. Moondrake Glory Dominus gives us even more tokens, and hopefully we can make them indestructible as soon as possible. And Mythos of a Snapdrax. Each player chooses an artifact, a creature, a enchantment, and a planeswalker they control among the non-land permanents they control, and sacrifices the rest. If black and red was spent to cast the spell, you chose the permanents for each player instead. Okay then. Mugwood Bats. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses life. Yeah, okay. Damnation, just to control the board. Decadent Dragon to go and exile top 2 cards of an opponent's library, play them, and then get a nice dragon when it attacks. That's fine, I'll cope with that. Veto, Fanatic of Alcazalta. You might as well have this here if we're going to be sacrificing our permanents, gain some life, get some tokens, lose life for the opponents. Ghost Council of Orzhov, sorry, I'll get it right. Into the battlefield, target opponent loses 1, you gain 1. And you can sacrifice a creature and do the blinking trick if you need to. Emerson Predator. Whenever it becomes tapped, you get to exile something and sack a creature to make it indestructible. That's fine. multi can do that, but you know, becoming tapped, exile one target card from a graveyard and put a +1/+1 on it. It's a nice little attacker you can get in the air. So basically, the next turn it attacks probably as a 4/4. Prosper, yeah, I'm playing black and red. Prosper's going to appear, sorry. And Brom Stoutarm, or Byron Stoutarm, probably not the card you're expecting to see. However, there's been a slight change in people playing things that stop me attacking. I'm talking like propaganda type effects or something like moat. There's started to see a few more of them recently on mtgo, and Byron Stoutarm lets me chuck my creatures around, gain a bit of life and deal some damage. So yeah, I think it was worth playing it in this deck. Cataclysmic Gearhulk helps us control the board a little bit more and lets everyone sacrifice things. Obviously this is, if you've got Malik in play, that's your creature, and the Cataclysm Gearhulk is your artifact. Fumigate helps control the board. Reveling Riches gives us a backup win condition. If we have 10 or more treasures in our upkeep, we win the game. And the Rune Sage. Everyone has to sacrifice a non-vampire creature. At the beginning of beginning of our upkeep, each player sacrifices a non-vampire creature. A little bit awkward if you're sacrificing your own stuff, but hey, hopefully you have a few creature tokens kicking around to deal with it. Archfiend Depravity. At the beginning of each opponent's end step, that player chooses up to 2 creatures they control and sacrifices the rest. You will become a big target with this card from Fate Reforged when you play it. Sheldred, yeah. It's Sheldred, March of the Machines, let's go to it. Hopefully we get the true scriptures into play so we get all the creatures back, fine. And Terrorgrid, you saw the deck earlier in the week that I built for Terrorgrid. It makes an appearance here because if opponents are sacrificing things, we might as well nick them off them. And Terrorgrid Shadow, again, it was in the deck earlier in the week. Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Yes, okay, sacrificing our own creatures hurts, but hey, if we can get it back, it's all the better for us. Excuse me. Goldspan Dragon doubles up the mana value of our treasures. Carmen Cruel Sky Marcher also makes an appearance. Sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Carmen and gain a life. Midley is a vampire along with Vito, so you know Arwen, Vito, and Carmen do actually have a little bit of synergy together, which is nice. The Ravos Soul Tender just pumps our creatures up and returns things from our graveyard to our hand. Marionette Master. Whenever an artifact you control is put into the graveyard of the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to Marionette's power. Now, Fabricate 3, so you can come in with either 3 servers or 3 +1/+1 counters, which then makes it 4 power, which means you need, assuming an opponent's on 40 life, 10 treasures to sacrifice to kill them with the Marionette. Okay then, but by the time the Marionette Master comes into play, your chances are everyone's taken a fair bit of damage, and you've got enough treasures left to kill everyone. Possibly. Keep an eye out for it. Otherwise, it comes in and gives you a whole load of blockers if it's going to save you. Think of it that way. Sheldred, the Whispering One had to be here so we can make sure we get a sacrifice every turn in the opponent's turn and get more treasures. Lovely, thank you. The big thing I like playing at the moment is Archfiend of Despair. Haven't quite managed to flick it out all the time yet, but your opponents can't gain life. It's a 6/6 flyer for 8 mana, and at the beginning of each end step, each opponent loses life equal to the life that player lost this turn. Okay then, that's nice. And finally, the last thing we're going to make our opponent sacrifice, Portal to Phyrexia. 9 mana, potentially sacrificing 9 creatures and getting 9 treasures and maybe winning because we've got Reveling Riches at the beginning of our next upkeep. But that's it. That's my little take on Malik, the Grim Manipulator. I think it's going to be a fun deck to try out on stream. I'm looking forward to trying it out, potentially tonight, depending where you're watching this. So Thursday, I might try it on Thursday night stream this week. So if you want to see the stream, it's down below on Twitch. You can come and find me there. I usually get started about 7 PM GMT. I really do hope you've hit the sub button to help me out to get me towards my 500 target by the end of 2024. And yeah, thank you for watching. Tomorrow's video is going to be a little bit stranger, and we'll be back to just pure more deck text next week. So for now, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.